Welcome to the Golden Gems podcast. Today we're taking a deep dive into Redd Foxx, the uncensored architect of modern comedy who proved the underground market was more profitable than the mainstream.
Okay, so let's just get right into the central conflict here because it's staggering.
It really is.
You have this figure, John Elroy Sanford, Redd Foxx, who builds what sources say was, easily a $50 million empire.
Generated, at least, yeah.
He weaponizes the forbidden, he changes American humor forever, and yet he dies broke. Not just broke, but in 1991 on the set of a sitcom. It's an almost impossible contradiction.
And that's exactly why we have to do this deep dive. You can't understand modern independent content without looking past the Fred Sanford caricature.
The guy everyone knows from TV.
Exactly. We have to look at how he built the business because he wasn't just telling dirty jokes. He was creating the literal blueprint, the commercial model for every explicit performer, every podcaster today who sells their stuff outside the gatekeepers.
So this is about the rebellion, but it's also about the cost, the devastating financial cost of fighting that machine.
To really get that, you have to go back to the beginning.
The foundational years.
He was born John Elroy Sanford, St. Louis, 1922, raised by his grandmother. He was just never built for the mainstream, was he?
No, not at all. He was a creature of the night, a product of the Chitlin circuit.
Which, for anyone who doesn't know, was this whole parallel universe.
A parallel economy, really, built to sustain black entertainers when the mainstream just locked them out. It was brutal, but it was vital.
But his real, let's say, education, that happens later.
Oh, absolutely. It was Harlem in the 1940s. That was the furnace. He ends up there washing dishes at a place called Jimmy's Chicken Shack.
And this is where the story gets these incredible layers.
Yeah.
Because he's not the only hustler in that kitchen.
No, he's working right alongside a young man named Malcolm Little.
Later to become Malcolm X.
And they both had the same nickname, Red, because of their reddish hair. It made them stand out.
So you have these two future titans sharing a sink, sharing this cynical view of the world.
It's like the Rosetta Stone for Fox's whole psyche. They both saw American racism for what it was, a cosmic, absurd joke.
But they choose completely different ways to fight it.
Radically different weapons. Malcolm takes the pulpit, the sword of truth.
Becomes the revolutionary.
And Fox, he chooses the microphone. And the shield of humor. Where Malcolm saw fire in action, Fox saw the need for laughter as a counterweight, a way to survive the pain.
And his material came from that, from the street. Soaking up the slang, the gallows humor of Harlem after dark, he was documenting a world that mainstream America pretended didn't exist.
And when you document the underground, you start to realize something.
What's that?
The gatekeepers don't matter. They only restrict the market. The establishment wouldn't broadcast what he was seeing, so he just decided to bypass them completely.
So how does that street knowledge get into a recording booth? What's the turning point?
The moment is 1956. The album is Laff of the Party. You have to understand, comedy records before this were squeaky clean, just totally sanitized for radio.
And Fox just doesn't do that.
He does the most radical thing imaginable. He records his club act, unvarnished, uncut, and, unapologetically obscene.
And that's the start of the whole party record revolution.
The very beginning. And this stuff was radioactive. Radio wouldn't touch it, no department stores, no major retailers.
Which forces his hand. It forces him to create that blueprint you were talking about. How do you even sell something like that?
You sell like it's illegal, like contraband.
Yeah.
Under the counter at liquor stores, barbershops.
Places the establishment isn't watching.
Exactly. They were often wrapped in brown paper bags, just like pornography. And the key thing here is that these were cash deals, mostly outside official channels. Largely untaxed, unregulated.
The business model itself is an act of defiance.
It's a massive philosophical statement. Fox proved that their raw stuff, sex, race, real human desires, that wasn't some tiny niche. That was the market.
He was serving an audience that was being completely ignored.
He desegregated laughter. You had white suburban housewives going into these shops, whispering to the clerk, "Can I get that Redd Foxx album?" It was a secret, shared rebellion.
And the numbers are just wild. Over 50 albums, an estimated 20 million copies sold.
20 million. That's more than Bob Hope, more than Cosby at that point in time. Owning a Redd Foxx record wasn't just about the jokes. It was a signal that you were in on the truth.
And if you look at that today, it's the exact model.
It's the blueprint. Every podcaster with a Patreon, every comedian selling their own special online. They're all running the Redd Foxx playbook. He proved the underground is where the real money is because it's where people's real desires are.
Eventually, though, that kind of success gets too big to ignore. The mainstream has to come calling.
It always does. The 1970s, you see the preview in 1970? He plays a James Taylor, Uncle Bud, in Cotton Comes to Harlem.
Which sets up the role that changes everything.
Sanford and Son, 1972. Now, it was based on a British show, Steptoe and Son, but Fox basically hijacked it. He filled Fred Sanford with the spirit of the Chitlin circuit.
He didn't just play the junk man. He made the junk man the king.
That's it, exactly. And that famous heart attack bit, this is the big one, Elizabeth, that was more than just a gag.
Oh, much more.
It was this dark dance with death. It spoke to every working-class guy who felt like he was killing himself just to survive. Fox played that exhaustion perfectly.
And he used his power on that set. He turned it into a battleground for representation.
Famously, he forced NBC to hire black writers, black directors, black actors. He demanded the show reflect the world it was supposed to be portraying.
He also just flipped the whole script on Class. The junk man was the smartest person in the room, the most cynical, the most insightful.
He challenged the entire TV hierarchy, and he backed it up. He became the highest paid black actor on TV, $25,000 an episode by '74.
And he still walked off the set multiple times.
Over money, over creative control. He knew his value, and he absolutely refused to be exploited.
But all that defiance, all that independence, it didn't save him financially.
And that's the tragic final act. It's a harrowing indictment of the industry's predatory nature.
He generates this estimated $50 million over his career from records, from Vegas, from the show. But his financial house was built on sand.
He ends up owing the IRS $3.6 million in back taxes, penalties, interest. You have this genius who creates an untaxed underground distribution system.
Decades ahead of its time.
And yet, he was completely unprepared for the scrutiny of mainstream corporate money.
And the government made a very public, very deliberate example of him.
The 1989 raid on his Las Vegas home, it was designed for public humiliation. They took everything. Cars, furniture, they were taking jewelry right off his wife's body.
In front of the camera.
You know, spectacle. They weren't just collecting taxes, they were stripping him of his dignity. The man who sold Rebellion was having his success audited and his rebellion taxed into oblivion.
And then just 2 years later, the ultimate cosmic irony.
This is devastating. October 11, 1991, he's on the set of The Royal Family, a show Eddie Murphy created for him.
His spiritual successor.
Right. And he collapses. A fatal heart attack. And his co-star, Della Reese, the crew, they all think he's doing the bit.
Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey.
They think it's the gag. The laughter that defined his entire life ends up masking his actual death.
It's just heartbreaking.
And to complete the tragedy, the final balance in his bank account was $3.50.
And Eddie Murphy paid for the funeral.
Which wasn't just charity. It was an act of respect. From the new king to the old general who showed him how predatory this whole game really is.
The lesson is so clear. Genius and fame are not enough. Without the financial armor, the system will get you.
As we look ahead, the conversation about him is finally changing. You have new projects, like that play, Malcolm X and Redd Foxx washing dishes.
In Harlem, right, it's moving past the caricature.
We're finally starting to see him as this philosopher king of the underground.
So for the creators listening to this, Fox is basically their patron saint. He's the patron saint of the canceled. He proved you don't need corporate approval.
You build your own gates. But that raises the final, really provocative question. Did Redd Foxx actually liberate comedy? Or did he just show us all how to lose more slowly?
What do you mean?
I mean, he proved that true freedom is building your own house. But he also proved that if you don't protect that house, if you don't manage the money, the system will take it all back with interest.
Down to the last piece of jewelry. That's his legacy then, that incredible tension. His old Dudo records, they still sound dangerous today. They sound vital.
They remind you that great comedy is supposed to thrive in the dark. It's laughter as a necessary response to the pain of just being alive.
Thank you for listening to the Golden Gems podcast. We'll be back next time with another deep dive. Until then, keep exploring, keep listening, and keep celebrating the power of uncompromising voices.